Yes, Alex. Congratulations on the win. Just real basic to start. How did it feel tonight, being back on the ice? Game action.
Yeah, it felt great. That was the idea, I think, in this whole situation is getting some game action, feeling the puck in game situations. And yeah, it was great. It had been a while, so I was looking forward to it, and we put together a good game.
When the whole idea, came about to, come down to Grand Rapids, kind of what was your reaction to the idea, in terms of, what's best for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think as any player, you never want, you know, go down like that, go down a level. But
Mm.
like I said, I haven't played in a while. I was just looking forward to getting some games now and finding my game again. Obviously it's been a rough start in the season up top there, so it's nice to get a game like this under my belt.
Obviously, you've had success up there in the past. What what do you think goes into kind of rediscovering your game again and finding that success?
It's just being positive and knowing that you can do it. Obviously, like you said, I had a little bit of success a couple years ago in Carolina, and even not even up there, but when I was in Charlotte, I had a lot of success in my days in Charlotte. So I know I can do it. And, I've shown I can play at a high level, here and in the NHL. So it's just about being myself, having a clear mind, and just having fun.
Who do you lean on, in times like these when you are going through a rough patch? Is it, maybe former teammates, coaches, who would be helpful for you?
Uh, it's a lot of family, honestly. I talk to my dad every day, talk to my parents every day, and they're obviously they've been there through the good, through the bad times, through the struggles. And they've been there, this entire season and the entire journey that I've been on in my professional career. They've been there. My wife as well. She's one of my biggest supporters, and yeah, they're always going to be there for me, and just trying to stay positive with them as much as I can.
And just last thing for me, you've obviously been in this league before. It's a different type of hockey in some ways for a goalie. How much do you lean on that time with Charlotte, to help you kind of reacclimate yourself here?
The only thing that I think I was taken away from my time in Charlotte was just knowing that I can play at a high level here, and having the confidence to do it. The guys played well in front of me tonight. Not too many grade A chances we gave up, so that obviously helped a lot. And just got to feel the puck a lot tonight, and that's all you can ask for. And hopefully, kind of build on this and build some consistency going forward.
Great, thank you.
Next up is Jack Doles from Wood TV. Unless he's only recording this.
Hey, Randy, thanks.
All right.
Sorry. Hey, Alex, how much did you need this? Not only a win, but just to get in and get some action like that?
Yeah, it was, obviously I think a little necessary. It's really tough it's impossible to replicate kind of that game type scenario in practices. It doesn't matter how many battle drills you do, how many 5-on-5 drills you do, how many, whatever, if you want to say scrimmages, not that anybody's really doing anything like that at this time of year, but there's the intensity is not the same in practice as it is, in a game. And everything's amplified that much more, in a game. Obviously one mistake and it ends up in the back of your net, and that can be the game right there. So like I said, you can't replicate this kind of these scenarios. So it was just good to get in the net and get back into it.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, that's all we have for tonight, Alex. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, Ben. I just real basic to start off, getting this slump ended, especially in your own building. What does it do for the confidence of your team right now?
I think a win's a win, regardless of how you won. At this point right now, it's just important to feel good about getting 2 points and getting back on track here and build from it. Now, we didn't play a perfect game by any means, but we'll take the positives out of this and learn from the mistakes. And we've got 2 big games Friday and Saturday against Texas, a much better, much deeper Texas team.
A win is a win, but you had a chance to lock down a win here, and close out a game. How important is that to get that, that type of win under your belt?
Well, it's a good experience for our guys to have, and obviously we didn't want to give up the one towards the end. There was a not great D zone coverage, a little bit soft on the play there. But the guys they found a way at the end of the day to bank the 2 points.
You had Alex come down. It's kind of been a little bit of a theme this season, having players come in from Detroit or elsewhere. You had Chiasson, you had Hellberg. What goes into that whole integration? Getting a player who's maybe going through a difficult time and getting them comfortable and feeling right here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, well, it is tough. At the end of the day, though, our first priority is we're part or at the beck and call, I should say. We're for the Detroit Red Wings. So whatever that means to help them, that's what we're here to do. Whether that's trying to develop prospects as best we can, whether that's to get guys that have been injured and out for a long time on conditioning loans, their legs and hockey sense and hands back to them, whether that's goalies that need to get more confidence back, whatever the circumstance is, we're going to welcome them with open arms, and no different than any other player that comes in here is try to get better every day. We're going to try and challenge each other as a group, as individuals, and try and get better, a little bit better every day.
Typically, the AHL is, it's a league. It's about developing young prospects. But a situation like this, does it require you and your coaching staff to put a little bit of a different hat on, and manage the situation a little bit differently?
I think each situation is a little bit different. Each player is different. Each assignment is different. So, and each player is different. So I think that we approach it with the same general mindset, but you tweak your tone, you got to get to know these guys where they're at in their careers, in their just in their lives in general, and try as best you can to help them succeed in the time that they're here.
Obviously, you're on the coaching side, the management side ultimately decides this, but kind of what goes into the thought process of sending a young player who has had some management success back to the AHL to rediscover his game?
Well, at the end of the day, it's not my decision, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's what our management team thinks is best for the individual, and in the long term, best for the organization. So, I've never questioned that. Whatever comes down our pipeline, we're excited when we get those players. So.
Jacob Vrana obviously cleared waivers. That's can be a tough thing for any player. Kind of, what are you and the Red Wings looking for from him here going forward?
Well, again, he's been through a lot.
Yeah.
So, for what he's gone through, we've, no different than any other player though. Like at the end of the day, it's hockey. So whatever goes on, and I tell the guys this all the time, whether you're fighting with your wife, you've got a bad day at home, your kids are sick, or your solace, you're the best time of the day is to come to the rink and just block everything out and play hockey. At the end of the day, you play hockey. So that's a great job. So it's tough for him, but at the end of the day, like, we've got to make sure that we're holding players accountable. We got to make sure we're trying to challenge them to be better and get them to be better hockey players, whether they're here for 2 weeks, whether they're here for 2 years. It's the same. So we're learning to get to know Jacob, and we'll try and get better tomorrow.
Alex did come down this week. Kind of what was his mindset when he did come in, from what you saw?
Well, I talked to Neds yesterday or last night when they let me know that he was going to be coming on conditioning, and he had a great frame of mind. He was excited to come down and play, realizes that he's got some things to work on in his game, and he was excited to come down here, and I thought he played pretty well tonight.
And last thing, a big announcement today for Brian Lashoff, a player who's been with this team since he was 18 years old. What does it mean for him and really for the entire Detroit Grand Rapids partnership?
Well, I can't say enough words about Brian Lashoff, when he's meant to this organization. He was here a long time before I walked through these doors, and you take the player side out of it. I mean, just a tremendous human being. He's done whatever we've asked him for, whatever this organization, whether it's Detroit, Grand Rapids. You don't happen, like you said, since the age of 18, you don't happen to stay in the same organization for that long by accident. You know, you want guys like Brian Lashoff. He does everything right. He's a consummate professional, and we're lucky to have him be a part of this organization.
Lastly, what do people, who don't, you're not inside the dressing room, as media fans, whatever, what do we not see that Brian Lashoff does that makes him such a good leader and a player you want to keep around year after year?
I just think his character. He does things the right way when people aren't looking. You know, he's learned, and he's had the benefit and the great fortune of being around guys that have been in Grand Rapids before him, some really good players that have come through Grand Rapids before him. But I think that he's evolved as a leader. He's changed as the game has changed, I guess, over the last 14 years, 15 years from whatever it is. And but at the same time, he's kept to his principles. He works extremely hard. You don't last as long in this league either without taking care of yourself, without doing the right things and taking care of your body. So, I mean, I can't say enough things about Brian that he's done, not only for the prospects in this organization, some guys that are in Detroit right now. He's just a fantastic human being.
Just to jump, one point on that, you mentioned that he has had to change. You were in a leadership role as a player as well. How has a captain like him had to change in the last 5-10 years?
Well, I mean, just communications changed. The athlete in general's changed. But I think in the long picture, the big picture, I do think that Brian's been pretty level-headed and really gotten to know people. I think he's just a very personable guy, and he's very relatable.
Thank you.
Sure.